Mahadev, Saturn Mars Mercury conjunction, which is one of the most powerful conjunctions in Vedic astrology. How does suppression brings in tremendous valor which leads to revolutionizing the inner world? Let's figure it out in this video today. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and watch till the end. How does Mercury, the soft, small, wobbly, auspicious planet, behave when it is conjunct with Mars and Saturn, who are very, very malefic and very powerful and difficult to deal with? Okay, Mercury here has to give in to the energy of Saturn and Mars. Saturn and Mars ends up controlling Mercury, and Mercury behaves in whatever the way Saturn and Mars wants him to behave. Okay, so resulting in which these people, they become tremendous powerful speaker. Whatever they speak has too much of Saturnian and Martian depth in it. Okay, lot of valor, okay, and courage you can see in these people when they speak. They are fearless speakers, persuasive leaders, inspirational writers or journalists, okay, or lawyers, or probably that fierce MP who speaks in the parliament and questions the the opposition. Now that kind of power is seen in this particular conjunction. But how do they come to this conclusion? How do they get that revolutionary articulating speech, the valor? Let's understand. So when these people were kids, when they were childhood or in their teenage life, adolescent period, the guardians, or the parents or the uncle or the people, those who were the authorities, the school authorities, the school bus conductor, okay, or the play school organizer, this kind of things, whoever is the authority, okay, they acted in a very strict, in a very powerful Saturnian villainous role. Whatever the children, this particular child or this teenage wanted to say, or whenever he wanted to exercise his Mercurian youthfulness, the spontaneity of Mercury, the free speech, or the friendships, he want to play with the friends, or probably shout out loud, okay, make noise, those things were stunted, with strict disciplinary rules like a military school, or they were insulted or probably punished or given more homeworks, resulting in which it shut down their speech, their natural tendency to speak out their mind, which is Mercury. So they become quiet. That happens when there is Saturn and Mercury is associated together, which I have explained in this video. 2 planetary conjunction videos, Saturn Mercury conjunction, please watch it here. Okay, so they become quiet. Why? Because out of fear that if I say something now, then I might be, or I must be, or I will be insulted, or I will feel embarrassed by it. So I better keep quiet. And they kept quiet. The child who used to express himself or herself freely became a quiet kid as they were growing up. Now let's add one more layer to it. So when there is Mars here, what happens with Mars? See, Mars and Mercury is a different phenomena. Mars, Mercury, there Mars wants to exercise his will, exercise his actions. Mars is all about taking actions, moving the body, using the body, because it is the neuromuscular moments, Mars. And Mercury is all about thinking. So Mercury actually confuses the Mars and doesn't let it act freely or smoothly. That's why Mars treats the Mercury as its enemy. Okay, but here in this conjunction, because Saturn is there, what happens with Mars, whenever they try to take actions or participate in that school sports competition, or they want to play cricket probably in the evening, their parents, the Saturnian father or some Saturnian uncle in that particular society, apartment society, scolded them of shouting, okay, resulting in which they again had to become quiet. They cannot use their body now. They cannot run in that sports competition. They cannot participate in join that judo class because his father doesn't want like that. Okay, you see. So the speech and the activities were stunted and stopped because of the malefic nature of Mars and Saturn, who is influencing their reality, inner reality also and the outer reality also. Okay, so resulting in which they become very, very cautious of what they say and what they do. Saturn Mars conjunction, please watch it here, which is called Yama Yoga because it brings in decay to the body and mind. How? Because here when the person is again and again stopped by doing his own spontaneous activities, the person becomes fearful of executing tasks. He thinks, he or she, that whatever I have to do, whatever I have to perform, that has to become absolutely perfect. If it doesn't become perfect, then again I will be criticized, or I'll feel embarrassed, or probably I'll be scolded by the authority. So he works tremendously hard, he works relentlessly like a machine to make things perfect in a routine repetitive manner, which is Saturn. Okay, and that brings decay and destruction, gradual decay onto their body mind. That is why it is called Yama Yoga. So here also obviously Yama Yoga is there and Mercury also there. So but mostly what is happening, they are unable to do or they are unable to speak. Okay, yet they have to grow, they have to become grow with age, soak it in all the malefic, the scolding, the and the difficulty of the environment, the society, the outer world has to give them to shape their inner world, the inner child, which is the Mercury. So later when they grow up, okay, when they become big, when the Mars matures at the age of 28, then Mercury starts maturing in the 30s. These people, they understand that enough is enough, okay, enough that I have stopped myself before taking an action, enough that my Mercury has made my Mars confused by not letting him take the action and giving him again and again doubt, self-doubt. That is why the Mars doesn't like the Mercury, okay, enemy he treats, because Mars wants to take spontaneous free action and Mercury brings in analysis. No, think before you act, think before you say something, okay. So then they become in the verge of their 30 or in the eve of their Saturn maturation, that very, very powerful, articulate, sharp speakers. Whatever then they speak is correct mostly, and whatever they speak is like a spear. It pierces through the intellect of the other people, because by that time the intellect, which is Mercury, has been sharpened by so much of blows and so much of friction by Mars and Saturn, that their mind works like razor sharp, okay, and it happens all in silence in their own mind. As I have explained in my last video, I will tag it here, that how you become very powerful in silence. So they could not express, They rather did not express, because they wanted to become perfect. So now that they think that perfection is palpable, okay, and they can feel it, they become that spontaneous, persuasive, inspirational, very, very powerful speakers, and nothing can stop them. Okay, they speak their heart out with a very bold manner. Whatever is there in their mind, they speak it with utmost structure of Saturn and too much of power of Mars. Okay, so you see, that is how they become this kind of people. A lawyer fighting a case. Okay, somebody is fighting for justice for 10 years. The lawyer is going date after date, he is going and ultimately he wins the case because of this, his immaculate, influential articulation. Okay, these people are mostly very careful with their friend circles. Okay, they mostly do not have friends or very less friends, because other people, they are truly genuine from their heart. Okay, and truth is something which everybody do not like. Truth always seems, harsh. Truth is bitter. Okay, so they say that speaks the truth, and it seems bitter, and people leave them away. They go away from their life. Hey, you don't know any diplomacy, and they don't know any diplomacy. Yes, they don't know how to sugarcoat things and say to make it sound beautiful. Probably if you bring in Venus here, or the aspect of Venus, then it can become good. Okay, so in that way this conjunction can become a villainous one. Or let's say a person whose sun is very bad, okay, like that man, okay, who is creating havoc now. So if somebody is having a bad sun, or let's say Jupiter is also bad, okay, then they can become evil people. They will do evil stuff, they will motivate an evil mass. So in negative way you can go to any direction. But does that happen? No, not in most cases. Here Saturn, Mercury people are very intelligent people, genius people. They know what is right and what is wrong. Okay, Saturn Mercury video, please watch. In Einstein photo thumbnail I have kept. So this is very powerful, wonderful. You should keep on learning. Read, learn, listen to very influential speakers. You love it. Okay, live your life and say the truth, but without hurting. Because if you have to, don't say the truth for the sake of saying it. Look at the sthan, kal, patra. Where you are saying, to whom you are saying. Is it important that you said the truth to him? Okay, so like that. Otherwise, it's very difficult to maintain relationships with very strong and bold speech. An intelligent speaker must know when to be bold and when to be soft. Okay. On that note, I hope this will help you understand this conjunction and not stick to the tough predictions of this. Okay. You can change your prediction. You are the creator of your own destiny. Alright, for consultations, go to my website down below, astroraja8.com, give me a like and tell me what did you learn from this conjunction. Do you agree with me or not? I will see you in the next one. Har Har Mahadev.